It's Levack and Goz on 104.5 The Team.
Joining us now in studio, Jordan Horn, Coach Abe Woldeslassie joins us. I'm pretty pumped I nailed that last name. Jimmy Patsos not here. He was with our country station earlier. Is he out recruiting? I'm going to start with Coach Abe right now. Where is Coach Patsos right now?
You know, actually, we have there's like a leadership academy thing going on at Siena. So all our coaching staff's there right now, and I got the lucky call to be here. So.
Yes, and I'm very happy you're here because you have Coach Manny, Peter. This is your first time here in studio, Coach, and I've already offered you, maybe between breaks, the open invite. Anytime you want to come on back in, you are more than welcome. You can hang out with us tomorrow at the Times Union Center if you want.
I love it. I'm there. This is perfect, man. First time. Love it. Easy drive for us, Jay Horn and I, and good to be here.
We're right by Dinosaur Barbecue yesterday, just to let you guys know.
I thought you guys were going to have ribs ready for us, but I guess that's not.
Maybe tomorrow.
That's what I was promised.
Maybe tomorrow. I will see what I can do.
This was kind of secondary.
I'm going to try to make them open up early tomorrow. I'm going to do all that I can.
Coach, for those that may not know, 'cause this is your first time here on the show, take us through your daily activities, your responsibilities when it comes to the Siena Saints basketball program.
Yeah, so I'm one of the assistant coaches along with Jordan Watson and Greg Manning, and Peter is our director of ops. So I think we work pretty well as a team in terms of sharing all different responsibilities, but I would say, we all recruit. We all spend time doing scouts, doing video, doing academic checks on our guys. Jay Horn's one guy probably doesn't need it. He's super on top of everything and does really well. But just making sure that our guys are doing what they need to be doing, and whatever job needs to get done and whatever Jimmy asks, we find a way to get it done.
The academic checks, I got to go back as my time as a college athlete, and those are rough some days. Because you remember, because I was a pretty good student. But and I'm sure Jordan can relate to this now going through his first year in college, when you have like a bad grade or a bad quiz and it's sitting on your mind, like I don't know when your guys' academic checks were. Mine were on Sundays. So okay. I knew if I had a bad assignment, I got it on a Wednesday, Coach would be like, all right, how'd you do on that test? Yeah, Coach, I got a C. A C what? A C minus. Like, Jordan, I'm just going to swing the mic over to him for a second. Has that happened, that moment where you're like, oh, man, these coaches really do care, and if I slip up, like, they're going to know what's going on in this organization, this program?
Fortunately, I haven't slipped up, and I hope I don't ever.
Good answer!
I hope that never comes to that, but they definitely do care, and they're always asking us how we're doing in class and stuff like that. So, but fortunately, I've never been in that situation, and I hope not to be.
I want to go to something that happened in your guys' two games ago, I believe it was, when Coach Patsos took the mic from Marissa Jacks. First reaction when you saw that, you guys had to love that, right? That's classic Jimmy Patsos.
Most definitely. I didn't see it right after the game because I went back to the locker room and we were celebrating after the win. But when I saw it, I just laughed. I was just like, that's just him being him and having fun.
Does it beat the handshake, the invisible handshake?
Well, that's tough.
Coach, you were there. You've seen both. I got to get Coach's take on this, too. Jordan was not there for that, but I'm sure it is pretty tough for you to say. You're probably biased because he saw that one. Yeah,
it was cool. I think the handshake got a little bit more national pub. I think it was like a top 2 ESPN top 10. It was like the second thing that night. And it was funny. We were actually at McGeary's after the game last year, and there was some text like, "Oh wow, I saw it on TV," and it's kind of like, well, it's probably gonna blow up. But then all of a sudden, we're sitting there at McGeary's, we're watching it, and they're doing the top 10, and the number 2 play was the handshake. So I don't think we were going to get that much publicity, but the beautiful thing was we won both those games. So that was both the Iona game and the Rider game last year. So.
Jordan Horn joining us here in studio. Coach Abe Woldeslassie as well joining us here in studio. So, guys, let's go back to the loss against Monmouth. I know it's a tough loss to talk about, but the tail end of that game, and Coach, I'm going to start with you, then swing it over to Jordan. The situation in overtime, what went on with the coaching staff? Was there some miscommunication from the sidelines? Was it just a mental mistake by a player and it ended up being the decision at the end of the game to see you guys unfortunately lose that game to Monmouth?
Yeah, really unfortunate ending to a really hard-fought game, to be in triple overtime, our second triple overtime game this year. We beat St. Peter's early this year. And, I think it was just a mental mistake. Jordan ended up hitting a shot with maybe 5 seconds left, and we're all trying to sprint back, and unfortunately, one of our guys didn't get that. But it's a part of life sometimes. Even last year there was a game like Vanderbilt played Northwestern in the NCAA tournament. A similar thing happened, and you feel bad. It's unfortunate. We go over time and score a lot in practice, and it's something that again just really unfortunate. But like we told the guys after, there were 100 plays before that could have went differently. Whether it was a missed box out or a missed rebound or a dumb foul or a turnover. So you tend to always remember the last thing that happened. And again, that was unfortunate, but there were probably 100 plays before that we could have, done something differently. So.
And to follow up then, unless you first, Coach, and then to Jordan and I can say if I'm stupid or I'm crazy with this, my hope is that you guys have learned from that and it will have an effect for you guys later on in the season. Whether it's Coach Patchos, whether it's Coach Abe here, did you guys take that loss and say, okay, that's a mistake that we as a team won't ever make again, whether it be against Fairfield tomorrow or in the MAAC tournament or for the rest of your careers here at Siena?
Most definitely. I think it's a mistake that we just kind of have to live with and we learn from and move on from. I mean, that game was in the past. And I think Coach Abe kind of hit it right on the head with that. Like there was 100 plays before in the game that were really the determining factor whether we win or lose. And so you can't really blame that last play. But I think it's just a situation where you kind of live and you learn and you move on from it. And we got 2 more games left in the regular season until the MAAC tournament. So just focus on those 2 games that's in the past, learn from it, and it's a mistake, but just move on from it.
You guys are obviously familiar with Fairfield. What one aspect is it going to take for you guys to beat them tomorrow night?
Yeah, obviously playing hard for a full 40. I think one thing we've talked about the past few games is just really taking care of the ball. And you look at our last win against Iona, had more assists than turnovers. Our past 2 losses had more turnovers than assists. And that's not just one guy, that's everyone. So really taking care of the ball. They've got the leading scorer in Tyler Nelson, leading the MAAC senior, terrific player. It's actually our senior night, so, Kadeem will be walking along with Mac, who's one of our managers. And so I think just playing for those guys, protecting home court, aside from the last loss, we've been playing really well at home. And these last 2 games, really just trying to get ready for the MAAC tournament. I think those are the biggest things.
I'll tell you what, guys, I don't know how many senior nights you've been at for Siena, but I go back to the days of Hasbrook and all those guys. Siena knows how to put on a senior day. That's for darn sure. The last one I went to was 2 years ago, and that's how you put on a senior day. If you've never been there in the Capital Region, I suggest you check it out because it's pretty darn cool.
Yeah, and there's always that extra emotion there. And even though Jordan's still early in his career and Coach has been around as well, there's something about that moment, whether it's Kadeem in the locker room before the game or maybe it's Mac giving a speech. There's a little something extra. And maybe even Jordan can relate to this back at his time in high school at the other level. Like, you remember those times where you kind of come up through the ranks and you're the freshman to start and you're like, senior day is so far down the line. Then it happens and you're like, oh, man, now I'm in this spot now, and my career's coming to an end. So I don't know, Jordan, if you ever remember a time during your career, whether it be as an underclassman or an upperclassman, where senior days and those games were especially emotional.
Oh, most definitely. I like you said, I remember being the freshman and playing with a group of seniors, and I remember watching them play their last high school game at home and last high school game period. And I was kind of hurt for them. They were like, man, it went so fast. You got to enjoy it while it's here. And I remember being a freshman and them telling me that, and the next thing you know, I'm a senior in that same situation. So it was definitely emotional then. I know it's definitely going to be emotional for Mac and Kadeem, knowing that it's like their last home game as a senior and stuff like that. But it's definitely a moment to cherish, and it does come by fast. And like they said, you got to enjoy every moment and live it while it's there.
Coach Abe Woldeslassie joins us, and Jordan Horn. All right, got a third time right. Third time is going to mess it up, right?
I've got guys I've known for 10 years can't say it right, so that's
all right.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I'm very happy with this. Now, I know this question, I'm probably not going to get the answer I want, but as a radio host, I at least have to ask it. The MAAC tournament is starting next week. Do you guys have one opponent you really want in that opening round? Is there one team you're like, man, I want to play these guys so badly next week at the Times Union Center?
I know you want me to give a certain team or whatever.
Come on, you want Monmouth, don't you? You want Monmouth. You want them again.
Back.
Man, I don't know. I tell our guys the one team that excites me the most and gets me nervous at times the most is us. I think when we're playing our best, we can beat anyone. You look at us beating Canisius earlier this year. We beat Iona. I think we can beat anybody, and we've proven it. Have we been consistent every game? No, but I think even you've seen the past few games, we're making progress. We've had a lot of close games, close losses, and like we were talking about earlier, just 1 or 2 possessions here or there changes that. I think we've had 11 games this year decided by 4 points or less, and we're 5-6. So now you think you win a few of those, and for seeding we're in a different spot. But like Jordan said, we can't move back. You worry about Fairfield and then St. Peter's on Sunday, and then go make a run in the MAAC tournament.
All right, now push that microphone to Jordan. Jordan, say how badly you want to play Quinnipiac, how badly you want Ryder in those rounds. Go ahead.
I'm not going to say any specific team. I'm not going to say any specific team either, but it definitely will be nice to get somebody back that we've lost to. Whether we play Quinnipiac or whether we play Ryder or whoever we've lost to in the conference, but I just want to whoever we play in that first round. I just want to go out there and beat them, whether they've beat us or we've beat them in the past. I just want to play as hard as we can, and like Abe said, make a run in that MAAC tournament.
And now I know obviously playing in the MAAC tournament, it's an elimination game. Every game's an elimination game. What do you guys do in preparation that's different for that than you do normally in a regular season?
Yeah, I don't think we do a ton different. And you look at these past 2 games. Obviously, we had the triple overtime game. We've had an overtime against Iona and then triple overtime against St. Peter's. So the fact that we could potentially play 4 games in a row, I think we've been tested there and all that. But I think it's just sticking to what we've been doing all year and just being a little tighter and, like I said, taking care of the ball. We really stress rebounding every game. That's one of Jimmy's sort of, on his tombstone. It'll say like, he rebounded, right? He just like in everything. He's a great rebounder and was a great rebounder as a player Catholic, but that's a big part of what we do and what we stress. And so I think if we keep rebounding, we keep taking care of the ball, I think we're going to surprise some people in this tournament.
Tomorrow, right here, 104.5, the team will be broadcasting live from the Times Union Center from 2 to 6, taking you up to tip-off. Tip-off of the Saints in Fairfield set for 7 o'clock. Jordan Horn, Coach Abe Woldeslassie, they joined us here in studio. Hopefully we'll talk to these guys again tomorrow. Guys, best of luck tomorrow if we don't catch you up.
Thanks so much. We want to say again, it's senior night. They got $5 ticket deal with Dunkin' Donuts, and there's a craft beer special going on as well. So we hope we can make it our last home regular season game of the year. Very excited about it.
Oh, also, before I forget, I remember Tom Herder, he's still looking for that fanny pack.
Oh, come on!
Yep, we haven't forgot about that from the last time.
All right, the fanny pack's coming. When Levack's back,
hire him right away.
When Levack is back on Tuesday, you guys can get your fanny packs. Goodbye, Jordan. Goodbye, Coach. Woods has got a story involving this band that's actually having a lot of help from the Olympics. They're getting more popular because wait till you hear this story. It's on the way next here on Levack and Goz.